Good afternoon and welcome to KTN Newsdesk. My name is Edith Kimani. Let's get this show on the road. And we begin this afternoon in Baringo, where reports from that county indicate that an early morning attack by cattle raiders has left 2 people dead in Marigat. Now, calls by frantic residents of Nosuro, Sirata, Lorok, and Oldebes villages alerted police to the attack on the area, mostly inhabited by Ilchamus. 11 houses are reported to have been burnt during the attack, while livestock, estimated to be in the hundreds, have been driven away by the raiders. Now, police have been dispatched in the area to deal with the situation, and we will continue to bring you details as and when they do come. Closer home, and angry Machakos residents paralyzed transport at Makutano along the busy Mombasa road for 5 hours, protesting against the demolition of their kiosks by the county government last evening. Now, the hundreds of kiosk operators from Mavoko constituency condemned the move, saying they had not been issued with a notice of eviction. The protesters who had barricaded the road were confronted by police from Athi River. The officers used tear gas to disperse them, eventually scattering the residents and ending the huge traffic snarl-up. Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama and Machakos MP Patrick Makau arrived at the scene and were able to calm the protesters. Makau condemned the demolition, terming it as a big blow to the common mwananchi. An estimated 150 million shillings worth of business property was destroyed during the demolitions.
Kukuwe na wakati na muda ambao mwananchi wa kawaida angefikia kupoteza mali yake.
Tunataka county government ipatie watu nafasi ya kufanya kazi. Tulisema vijana wapate kazi, wamama wapate kazi, lakini si maana kuja kubomoa. Na mimi naambia Mutua, this is Mavoko constituency. Wacha kucheza na watu wa Mavoko.
Still in Machakos County, a section of leaders held peaceful demonstrations in Kaiwa Market in Masinga constituency to protest against phase 2 of the Masinga-Kitui water project. Now, the leaders said it was unfair for the water to be pumped to Kitui County, while residents of Machakos have not benefited from the water which is in their county. Senator Johnston Muthama said that they will not allow the project to continue unless Machakos residents are given the first priority. Masinga MP Itikumbai said that his constituents have suffered for long as they are forced to walk for many kilometers in search of water. The project involves channeling the water from Masinga down to Kitui.
Wa Masinga na Machakos County. Tumeamua kwa siku ya leo kwamba maji haya yako hapa ni haki yetu na hakuna mtu hata mmoja anaweza kutunyang'anya kabla tujakunywa.
The Garissa County government has blamed the activities of refugees residing in camps there for what they call massive environmental degradation. Now, during celebrations marking World Environment Day at Garissa Primary School, the County Executive Committee member for Environment, Energy, Mining and Tourism, that's Salah Yakub, said the refugees' continued dependence on the fragile ecosystem was straining the ecosystem. A section of refugees are claimed to have cut down trees around the camp for fuel. The minister called on the national government through the Department of Refugee Affairs to deal with the matter.
We are telling DRA to take issues of environmental problems of the host community, both social and environmental and economic aspect of the host community, at their core bargain.
A section of Kericho County Assembly members have called for the disbandment of the County Assembly following the removal of the Assembly Chief Whip and Minority Leader. The 2 leaders were removed over their alleged support for the governor, Paul Chepkoni, who survived an impeachment attempt. Now, speaking during the welcoming of the governor, Londiani Ward MCA Jackson Kikwai urged the government to disband the County Assembly and call for fresh elections following the unprocedural removal of the 2 assembly leaders. His tenor ward counterpart, Majani Rono, said he was removed from office without any genuine reason. He called upon the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to probe the county assembly over misuse of funds. The two ousted leaders have vowed to go to court to seek the interpretation of the constitution over their removal.
Ninaomba serikali kupitia Jubilee yetu, Kericho County Assembly imeshindwa na kasi, funjeni twende election na wananchi wa Jogo wa kingine. Na hatuwezi tanganywa ati kazi itaendelea hata bila governor. Kwani kazi inaendelea Embu? Si Embu alitoa governor na kazi inasimama huko?
Hakuna vile kazi itafanyika kama Kericho itagawanyika. Mimi mwenyewe nataka kusema nimesamehe MCAs wote, na vile vile pale kwenye kumefanyika makosa kwa upande wangu ninaomba msamaha.
Now, between smoking criminals out of their hideouts and maintaining law and order, police officers usually have very little time left for anything else. However, there is one administration police officer in Mukurweni constituency who has taken conservation efforts a notch higher. His name is Corporal Ephantus Washira, and he has planted 150,000 trees in his life, and he continues to plant more every day. Well, KTN spoke to him at his post in Mukurweni, and here's his story.
When you visit the Mukurweni Administration Police Post, you can't help but take in the sheer resplendent beauty. The greenery sets it apart from many AP or regular police posts that often sport the barest of amenities. Here, the beautiful flower arrangement welcomes you as you walk in. It is even a greater wonder to learn that all this work is done by a police officer, Corporal Ephantus Washira, who told KTN that he took to trees just as fish does to water.
I was inspired to plant trees by my late father, because I used to see him selling trees, and we could get money for food, for fees. And later on, Wangari Maathai came into my mind. I could hear about Wangari Maathai, and then I started monitoring her activities.
It started off as a hobby during his childhood, and it soon became a favorite pastime of his.
About 15 years old. So I could set some small nurseries at home. I could sell some trees even when in secondary school to raise pocket money.
If he started planting the trees at the age of 15, we asked Corporal Washira just how many trees he has planted since then.
In the MP camp, where I've been going through, I've planted more than 2,000 trees, and throughout my life, I've planted about 150,000 trees.
And while he does this purely out of his love for conservation, he does make something extra from his sale of the seedlings to other interested parties. Is the venture expensive?
I use my salary to buy the seedlings and labor and papers.
He sometimes sources for help.
I get youth from the town who are jobless. I give them the work.
Police camps are by nature areas of communal living, and while the corporal does his conservation work, we wondered whether his colleagues chip in.
Kwa hizi maposti ziko hapa Mukurweni, about 15 posts. At least amedistribute hizi miti zote huko. Na tumeona umuhimu ya kupanda miti.
Some of my colleagues could see it as an extraordinary job, but my seniors have been able to understand what I'm doing, and they are very supportive.
He's not about to relent and says he will not tire of planting tree seedlings wherever he goes. He also hopes others will be as passionate about tree planting as he is. Well, police officers usually have a lot on their hands, but this particular one has found time to do just what he loves and do his bit in matters conservation, and of course hopes that everybody could share his passion. Carol Nderi for KTN in Nyeri.
150,000 trees, and to imagine that he's done it from his pocket, that is absolutely commendable. But let's now move to what's happening in Somalia. And residents of Banadir region in Mogadishu in Somalia heaved a sigh of relief after the area administration were officially handed the control of 4 water wells that were constructed by the African Union Mission in Somalia, or Amisom. Now, the 4 wells will benefit 260,000 households. The project aims to provide affordable, clean and safe water to the residents who have not had access to basic needs and infrastructure for more than 2 decades of civil war. Now, speaking during the handover ceremony, Amisom Political Affairs Officer James Gardin said that such endeavors supplement efforts by the mission's military wing. The provision of safe water is expected to help address challenges of disease outbreak resulting from consumption of unsafe water. It is estimated that only 30% of the Somali population have access to safe and clean water.
Try to uplift the living standards by providing basic social services to the population in those areas that we recover from Al-Shabaab. In many of these places we find some dilapidated social infrastructure, some even non-existent. For those that are dilapidated, it's easier for us to rehabilitate them.
Now, Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai has said he was not consulted over the award of the 15 billion shilling CCTV tender to Safaricom. Speaking to KTN's Radio Maisha this morning, Muigai said it was the duty of government officials and agencies to seek his advice and not him to go ground finding out whether they were what they were getting into. Here's part of that interview with Radio Maisha.
The Attorney General is not an ombudsman. He doesn't knock from office to office asking people, what are you doing, so I advise you. The Attorney General advises upon request. Upon request, you advise on the issues that are raised.
From that, we have a look at what's happening in the world of business, and we'll begin with what's happening with and insurance and investment firm Britam can now issue its planned 5 billion shilling corporate bond after getting the green light from the Capital Markets Authority. Now, the medium-term note will be issued in 2 tranches of 3 billion and 2 billion, with the possibility of an additional 1 billion in a green shoe option. Britam expects to use the funds to finance its expansion plans and grow its investment portfolio. Britam has been on an aggressive expansion over the last few years, with recent acquisitions such as a 25% stake in property development and management firm Arcon and a 99% stake in Real Insurance. The firm is also mulling over a 30% purchase in Continentally acquiring a full-owned subsidiary of Lagos-based Continental Insurance of the property front. The firm is putting up a 31-story complex in Upper Hill, Nairobi, and has announced plans to construct a shopping mall along Mombasa Road. Here now is a look at other corporate briefs making headlines in the world of business.
Local vehicle assembler General Motors East Africa has penned a partnership with Nakumatt Holdings for the supply of the first fleet of prime movers. The supermarket chain purchased 4 Isuzu EXZ trucks valued at approximately 50 million shillings. Signaling the uptake of the latest entrant in the truck segment, the EXZ truck, engineered for tough road conditions in East Africa, was introduced in the Kenyan market in the close of 2013. Also, telecommunication solutions provider Orange has launched the eCare app in the Kenyan market. The My Orange app offers Orange mobile subscribers a personalized account management experience, allowing them to check their credit balance, recharge their account, and manage their subscription of Orange services. The GPS-enabled app comes with a feature map that will enable customers to locate Orange and partner shops across the country. Finally, KCB has plunged into the increasingly competitive but new commuter debit card. In a partnership with Kenya Bus Services Management, KCB has revamped KBS debit card dubbed Abiria Card to facilitate cashless payments for their commuter buses. The Abiria card, which is a MasterCard enabled, can also be used in any MasterCard branded acceptance outlets, allowing commuters to enjoy other banking services. The partnership is in line with the government's directive to have all public service vehicles operate using cashless payment systems by July 1st of 2014.
Well, congratulations to all those Kenyans, and of course for a comprehensive look of that report, do join the sports team in our subsequent bulletins. Elsewhere, Kisumu's first sports academy received donations of soccer and tennis kits from American and Australian donors, impressed with the modest achievements of the fledgling institution. Ilora Academy, which is based in Otonglo Estate on the outskirts of Kisumu City, also took the opportunity to launch a unique tennis and soccer camp. Fredo Mulo has his story.
US-based Soccer Plus that has contributed hundreds of players and coaches into Major League Soccer came all the way to Kisumu to support Elora Academy that has recently borrowed its approach to talent development among the youth. Australia's Velox Tennis also used the opportunity to spread its wings and donate much-needed rackets and balls.
Soccer Plus has many they've coached many professionals. At the level, they have many professional coaches, and they work all summer at different camps. So across the entire United States, it's one of the biggest soccer camps in the United States.
Elora Academy is the brainchild of 24-year-old Collins Agwanda, who created the Victoria Tennis Club in 2011 to help junior players before expanding it to include other sports last year.
The project works with the less fortunate and orphans across the slums and villages, the kids who never had opportunity to afford the club's membership fee, private members clubs fee, and we get them from slums, we train them for free, we never charge anything, so that we nurture their talent. These are the kids whom we want to get involved at Elora.
Victoria Tennis was successful enough to earn exceptional juniors sports scholarships in prestigious high schools within the region.
And I decided that I'll do my best in this game to ensure that I get the school of my choice, and I did well. The first girl in Victoria Tennis Academy under 14. I managed to get a chance in Butere Girls High School.
The school is now focused on promoting high school scholarships for talented but underprivileged juniors within Kisumu. Fredo Mulo, KTN Sports.
And that story marks the end of this edition of KTN Newsdesk. We do hope you enjoyed yourself. Do make sure to stay tuned to KTN for subsequent bulletins. Betty Kialo comes your way at 9 o'clock with Friday briefing. She promises it's going to be fantastic. But right now, have a look at your Did You Know fact. Did you know there is a giant albino snail in New Zealand? It doesn't look nice. Snails generally are not pretty, but then this one is disgusting. And it's carnivorous. Good afternoon.